All right, so we are recording. Okay. Hi, Carol. Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate your time and looking forward to what you'll be able to share with our grant evaluator. So, if you would like to introduce yourself, let us know how long you have been a grant evaluator and what city and region that you reside in.
My name's Carol Brown, and this will be my fifth grant cycle. I've completed four and skipped a year, and I'm looking forward to this new opportunity to serve OCF. And I live in Rockaway Beach, and I review grants for the North Coast region.
Right. Wonderful. So now tell me one thing, or maybe one or two things that you love about being a grant evaluator and why.
Well, I think, first of all, the idea of being able to improve the life of all Oregonians, which I make a little small contribution doing that because that's supporting the mission of OCF. And the other thing is some pretty great people I've met through the process, people that I ordinarily wouldn't meet. And so great people to work with, great, great learning opportunities as to what's going on in Oregon.
Right. So now what I'd like for you to do is share a strategy, a practice, or methods that you use to help you prepare for the grant for the role. So everything from how you review training materials, your process for reviewing grant applications, providing the written feedback, and even preparing for the report out meetings.
Well, I think the most important thing is I try to read everything I can. So that means going back and looking at the OCF website, looking at the annual reports, looking at the actual each year the the goals. It seems to me the goals shift a little bit in terms of populations and projects that OCF wants to um, grant to, and so I make sure I have a good idea of the current year and then read everything. And especially when I first get the grant applications that will be my responsibility to report out on to the team, is I get them, I make sure I get them all printed in paper. I sit down and read all of them in one sitting at first, and then wait a couple days and then go back to them and read them again. And then it's the third time that I begin to kind of assess, look for weaknesses, strengths, questions that, or, areas that I might not be clear on. So that those would be the kind of things that questions I'd ask in the report out meeting. And then make little notes but keep my mind open and just kind of just think about the projects, think about the requests, see if things align, and try to be as prepared as I can. But then read them everything again before I sit down with the team. So read.
Wonderful. You've shared some wonderful strategies, and we so appreciate the time that you've been a grant evaluator, and we look forward to your participation this year. Thank you so much for all your wonderful advice.
Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for asking. And I really appreciate being able to contribute.
Absolutely. All right.